welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. Happy Mean Girls Day to anybody who celebrates. I don't, but I love getting in that algorithm. I love utilizing the SEO. I love taking what's in the zeitgeist and trying to get views off of it. So tonight, we're doing the movies of the cast of Mean Girls, specifically Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Amanda Seyfried, and Lacey Chabert. After, I think we've done probably 60 or so episodes just this year, I am running out of movies. So tonight might be a little more difficult than some of the other shows, unless you're really familiar with the works of these actresses. Before we get into that, if you're new to the show, first of all, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you decided to click on this. I'm glad that Mean Girls was the one that convinced you to watch one of these. We've got so many others. This is 128, I think. There are so many of these. You should go back, watch some of those. Everybody on the show tonight has been on a bunch of those episodes. You'll love them. Also, join the Facebook group if you're not already a member. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of the video, that's like the community of the show. It's also one of the best places to get booked on this show. If you would like to be a part of this show, you don't really need to know anything about movies. I have plenty of people on this show who I'm not sure if they've seen movies. It's fun. I just love having new people on. If you want to be a part, there are still shows in October with some space available. If you go right now, right at the top of the page, you'll see a post that says October booking. Look at that. See if any of those dates sound good to you. If they do, reach out to me either there or Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. You'll find all that information on either of those as well. I think I've talked enough. I'm ready to get into Mean Girls with my friends tonight. Joining me on the show, just a group of favorites. We've got JD Stephans, Josh Poirier, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, and Sammie James. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's start with, I think, the biggest Mean Girls fan in the group. Josh Poirier back in the show. Hey, Josh.
What's up? This is going to be a fun show.
I think so. First of all, have you seen Mean Girls?
I have, yes. Yes, I have.
I think you're the only one here, correct me if I'm wrong, who isn't in their 30s.
I'm not in my 30s.
Like prime age for Mean Girls. So what do you think of that movie?
I think it's great. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a great movie. I think it's fantastic. To be honest, it's written by Tina Fey, which is amazing, which I just learned tonight. Because I needed to research Mean Girls in the 5 minutes before the show started. Some great performances by the ladies who are in it. Amanda Seyfried, them.
Yeah. So you got one of them.
Yeah, one of them. Rachel McAdams, right?
That's another one. Who's your favorite of the
Lindsay
four?
Lohan. What?
Who's your favorite of the four?
Tim Meadows.
Perfect. You're talking about actresses. You talk about a man because you're just four, and that's what you do on this show.
I think my favorite of the four is Rachel McAdams. Actually, I think she's the most talented of the bunch.
She's been in a lot of really great movies.
Yeah, she really has. But not as good as Coneheads like Tim Meadows been in.
Do you have a Rachel McAdams movie that you really like?
Probably the latest one. One of the latest ones she's been was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, she was in that.
Yeah,
and she almost got to do something in that.
Almost. I'm not saying her performance was a standout, but she was in it.
She was. Well, I'm glad that you're trying this out tonight. I have no idea how this will go for you.
Oh, it's gonna go great.
Just
I'm
always
gonna guess Mean Girls for every answer. Because I know they've been in that.
they have all been in Mean Girls.
Yep.
I'm just going to read down the order I'm seeing on my screen. So also returning to the show, also somebody who's been on a million episodes, always a thrill, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, back on the show. Hey, Lloyd.
Hello. I have two things to say before Nick asks me any questions. First of all,
Jesus.
you need to go, if you're watching, hi, how you doing? I exist. You need to go and watch the episode of this show hosted by LC. It is the best episode in this canon because it's a very high bar. Secondly, I was in Celtic Pride. Not for very long. I didn't do much, but it sounds like I did as much as a mean girl did in Doctor Strange, so I can live with it.
Hey, Lloyd, you were my favorite part of Celtic Pride.
That is great because I was on screen for 0.3 seconds and then way back.
Yeah,
Anyway,
You played Dan Aykroyd, right?
it was filmed worse. It was filmed in my school, and I met Daniel Stern.
That is not worse. How dare you? Especially nowadays, I would rather have a conversation with Daniel Stern than try to figure out what Dan Aykroyd's talking about.
Quick aside. I actually asked him, because I was a kid, I'm like, how did it feel climbing a rope that was doused in kerosene? And he said, how do you think it felt, kid?
Oh, he wanted nothing to do with you.
He wanted you to shut the fuck up.
The whole freaking class laughed. He laughed. He was a sport, but I'm like, holy shit.
Lloyd, you've been on the show. Let me see. This will be 28 times for you. Why is this the first time hearing that you've been in a movie? And how does that relate to the fact that this is Mean Girls?
It's the first you're hearing about it because, again, 3.3 seconds way in the back of a scene in the gym that is not really noticeable. I didn't even notice until somebody told me about it. And it relates to Mean Girls because it sounds like I did as much in that movie as a Mean Girl did in Doctor Strange.
That's like my work in Grown Ups too.
Yeah, you weren't that good in Grown Ups too, Nick.
I was pretty good. There's a scene. It's just me, what's his face, Adam Sandler and Kevin James, just the three of us there in the foreground. My blurry faces in the background, walking through a parking lot. We had fun on set that day. Lloyd, how do you feel about the movie Mean Girls?
Well, I certainly enjoy it as a movie more than a lot of people who watched it when it came out who were my age and male did. I actually enjoyed the film. Other people enjoyed the stars of it, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. No, you hate them all, right? You hate all four of them? Lloyd hates ladies, is what I know about Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. Totally do it. It makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. No, I liked it because it's one of those movies that when you watch it as a kid and then you watch it again as you get older and then you watch it again as you get a little bit older, you can start to tie certain like not social relevancy, but like you just notice, you can almost tell how much things have changed by watching a movie from the 90s and 80s, like 80s and 90s, that period when I was little. It's one of those movies you can watch a movie and see how much things have changed in society just through the lens of that movie. That's one of the things
you're talking
about that movie as I've gone on.
You don't remember all the smartphones in Back to the Future?
I mean,
yeah. Also, just apropos of nothing, Beats for Cats in the chat wants to know, is Lloyd aware that none of these actresses were in Face Off?
That is a nice callback. I was pretty mad about Face Off. Part of a Nicolas Cage heavy episode. So much Nicolas Cage, and you don't have Face Off. What is wrong with the world we live in? Anyway.
Nicolas Cage was great in Mean Girls.
He was
no Tim Meadows.
Well, is there
on Wednesdays we scream
because I know you respect the ladies, Lloyd. I'm sorry I even joked about it. I said it in jest.
I know.
Is there one of the four that you like a little more than the others? And if not, is there just a movie from any of them that you think people should watch?
Oh my God. You know what? I've taken up enough time on this particular part of the show. So I'm gonna come back to that. But yes,
no.
But I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back.
All right. Remind me, because I will forget.
I will interject. Trust me.
I remember.
Well, Lloyd, welcome back. Also returning to the show again. Next face down on my screen. A recent addition to the show, recent fave, appearance number 8 already for them. JD Stephans back on the show. Hey, JD.
Yeah.
Now I do know you do like this movie. Is that correct?
A little bit, just a
little. I know you've struggled in the past with some of the themes of this. This does feel good for you. How do you feel about this?
I was feeling good, and then I saw all the curveballs you're probably going to throw at us, and I was really sad, Nick. I was really sad.
I promise I won't be too mean. I have a few on here that I really wonder if anybody's going to get, but I will just to ease the tension. I did not dive in to the, 80 Hallmark movies that Lacey Chabert has made in the last 5 years.
I was so looking forward to making up Hallmark movies. I'm still going to.
Many. There's so many.
Well, JD, is there a movie you would recommend from any of these 4 fine actresses?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's go with Disobedience.
Disobedience. That's Rachel McAdams, right?
Yes. Yes.
That is not one that I've seen, and I only know one thing about it.
Which brings me to why I wasn't sure if I should have made a recommendation, because I'm going to make the recommendation that everybody's already seen.
Disobedience. Lloyd we're 2 for Disobedience. JD and Lloyd both highly recommend it.
No. Freaky Friday.
Do it, Lloyd.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's already seen it, though. Do I need to recommend it? If you haven't seen it, you're 3 years old. I don't blame you for that. But if you've seen Mean Girls, you've seen Freaky Friday.
What if I told you I was an exception to that rule that you just gave?
Then the recommendation applies to you and you alone.
I should see. I don't think.
Freaky Friday.
No, I have seen one Freaky Friday. I've seen the Shelley Long, Gabby Hoffman one from the 90s.
Okay.
But I haven't seen any of the big ones.
Definitely see the one with Miss Lindsay Lohan.
I'll add that to the list. So we got Freaky Friday, Disobedience, Doctor Strange. We also have one final guest, somebody who second only to Lloyd. Second only to Josh on tonight's show for appearances. Always a thrill. Sammie James back on the show. Hey, Sammie.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Are you now? How do you feel about Mean Girls?
I like the movie. I like it. I will say, like, as a trans person, as someone who was not out when this movie was out, this was a movie that, like, it was very like I was like I defended it. I'm just like it. I'm like, am I allowed to like this at all? Okay, and just like I defend it till, and it was like, no, I liked the movie. Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah, and I rewatched it as an adult, like a year or two ago. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I know there's a lot in this movie that doesn't hold up.
Oh, there certainly is.
And speaking as somebody who was a teenager when this movie came out, a lot of what we did does not age well, and I'm glad it isn't on film.
I was a teenager in the 90s. What do you think? What do you think my life was like?
Your so-called life.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
much.
I meant when I said you can see how society
Good
changed
reference.
through the lens of that movie. If you watch it today, you see how things have changed.
You see a lot of things that Tina Fey kind of got away with for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Tina Fey is so awful.
Listen, I was on vacation in, I believe this is when I was in DC, and it was on TV, and I was like, sure, whatever. Let's find out if this is good. And it's fine. It deserves the fandom.
Well, Sammie, you're the last one I will ask. Is there a movie of this group that you would say people should see?
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer the question that you were asking. Amanda Seyfried, okay, that's I love her. Honestly, I've mostly okay choices, but I've made some mistakes. Okay, I'm like, Amanda Seyfried's in it. It'll be fine.
Did you see her Elizabeth Holmes show?
Oh yeah.
Was that any good?
That's yeah, but I'm gonna go old school. Okay.
Okay.
And as old school as you can with this, we are going with Jennifer's Body.
Oh,
shoot!
Nice.
Wow, that's
Good
a
choice.
That's
a solid choice.
That's a call back, way back. Holy shit!
Like
Wow.
for the filmography of them, like that's back in near the beginning, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, something I just learned today is Mean Girls is her first movie.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I didn't. But yeah, no.
Amanda Seyfried is my only saving grace in this game.
Feel like such a relic, right?
I will say, the last episode we did black and white movies. So it was a lot of old stuff. Tonight, the oldest movie is from 1997. So
fuck.
Hope you remember what happened in the last 25 years.
God
I know
damn
who
it.
was in it.
I don't remember a thing.
Well, thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to see how this works tonight.
Surprised I remembered I have a kid.
I'm excited to break JD Stevens' heart.
You all know how
That's mean. That's so mean.
Can I just say one last thing?
Sure.
I don't celebrate Mean Girls Day because I
Love
think it's
you,
cultural
JD.
appropriation.
You know, you could take one for the team, Sammie. I'm just kidding. Please don't.
Listen. I'm gonna be making up enough fake Hallmark movies that it won't really matter how many I get right.
Strap in for a 4-hour show.
I'm really excited for that.
And listen, if you've ever seen a Hallmark movie, you know making up a name could be a real Hallmark movie.
You know what Stardust Marriage Back to Bernie.
Christmas and the Cat. Like that's one.
Well, we got a lot of guesses for how this game's going to go tonight in the chat. I'm excited to see if any of you are right. You all know how the game works. You've all played this game a bunch of times. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies from the cast of Mean Girls. These parental warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them. They're anonymous weirdos who have provided me with days upon days of content, which is more than anybody has ever done for me. I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. And I say, let's just get into it because we got a lot to get through tonight.
Let's do it. To
do that, JD, you're first up. Would you like would you like a movie from 2003, 2012, or 2015?
Let's do 2012, Nick. Let's do 2012.
Right. First movie of the night from 2012 stars one of the 4 Mean Girls for 5 points under the category of profanity. 1 shit, 1 or 2 uses each of hell, ass, pissed, bitch, slut, and bastard. Jesus is said about 6 times, most often by the innkeeper. God also comes up as an exclamatory.
I'm gonna wait. I'm looking for the thingy.
All right. we got 2 people buzzed in. Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Is this the Little Red Riding Hood movie that Amanda Seyfried did? I mean, Innkeeper. It seems like it could be.
Josh, what do you think?
It's Mean Girls.
Please guess that, everyone.
It is not Mean Girls. It is not Little Red Riding Hood.
Damn it.
Worth a guess.
But if it
Can I
was
take a
Mean
guess?
Girls,
Worth a guess.
oh, how sweet it would be.
I do have to read through the next one because people
It's
guessed
fine.
on that
It's cool.
one.
I'll just leave it up there.
All right, for 4 points under the category of alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the students sing about and are seen drinking alcohol.
Students sing about.
They're
And
a
are
student.
seen drinking alcohol.
They're a student.
Right.
That's a clue.
Okay.
What?
Sammie, what's your guess?
Students singing. And
Mhm.
listen, I've been like going through a lot of horror movies and like having a lot of horror movie conversations and of recent. So I'm just going to say, and I think this is too early for this movie, and I don't think any of them were in this, but I'm going to say that one of the Mean Girls was in Anna and the Apocalypse, which is about students. They sing and there's stuff going on. And if I got this right, it's amazing.
It would be absolutely amazing. I'm pretty sure none of them are in that movie. It is
I
not
wouldn't.
Anna and the
I don't think they are.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman is briefly seen in underwear, wrapping her breasts tightly with cloth to pass as a man. Another woman is seen in undergarments as well, with some cleavage showing. A man and a woman kiss passionately. Sammie has another guess. Does anybody else want to guess?
No, I do not.
JD's also going to guess. JD, what do you think this movie is?
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be the. This is wrong, but she's the man.
Sammie, what do you think?
That's also what I'm guessing.
It is not She's the Man.
Damn.
Ah,
You know, solid choice. We tried.
Listen,
we tried.
Amanda Seyfried wasn't in it. It's weird that I guessed it.
and neither was Becky Lynch.
For 2 points, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a woman drinks from a vial, most likely a painkiller for having her tooth extracted. Several men are shown unconscious from alcohol, and one man is shown lapping up alcohol from a bowl. And the master of the house
feel like
song
an idiot
shows
right
many
now.
people dancing and partying drunk.
Oh God, I'm gonna hate myself tomorrow.
Such a
What did I
idiot.
already do tonight?
How did I
All right,
not
I think
get
it's
just
this
gonna be-
there?
All right.
Ah.
Lloyd, are you don't have it, Lloyd?
I
I don't have it either. I'm just gonna
I
guess.
don't have the name.
No,
I
neither
don't
do
have
I.
the name.
All
How
right.
didn't I
I
get
know
this?
I know the film. I
It's-
just don't know.
It was the student thing that threw me off.
Josh,
And I
what
want
do
you to know
think?
that, Nick.
And Mamma Mia.
Sammie, what do you think?
This is Hallmark's Drunk for Christmas.
JD, what is this movie?
Mamma Mia.
This movie is not Mamma Mia.
What?
No,
What?
Wait. Is it?
it is not Mamma Mia.
Wait.
I'm not as shocked as you are.
Wait.
I really thought you had it.
No, okay.
Wait. Is it
So
Drunk
I
for
had a
Christmas?
different
Oh,
guess,
oh yeah.
but I went
It
with
is not.
Josh.
It is
He
not
just-
Drunk for Christmas either.
He,
Just to clear that up.
he sounded really confident, so mine was actually very
No.
different. So I
I
just
had no fucking clue.
I just want you to know I have a very
I
good
was
answer. and
so
I'm really
happy
sure just
for
going with my
Josh
gut,
as soon
so.
as JD guessed that. I was like, oh my god.
Well, let's go for the final one. And there is already anger in the chat, but we will go for the final one. For 1 point
There
under
should be.
violence and gore, a gunfight between a
Yes.
small band of revolutionaries and soldiers of the
Oh my
king
God.
takes place in the streets.
I'm
Cannons
such an
and
idiot
rifles
for
are
not getting this
fired,
earlier.
God
and
damn it.
scenery and people blasted by the explosions.
God damn it, she
Bayonets
might be
and
in this
swords
movie.
stab
I
and
just-
slash people as well. Some wounds are seen involving a moderate amount of blood, and in the aftermath,
Why did I go
blood
with what Josh
literally
said?
runs in the gutter.
Josh.
Oh my god! God.
Well, do we have 2 hands up? Nobody else
I
wants to
should've-
guess?
You know what? I'm just gonna go with my gut from now on
Well,
because
I'm gonna go to Sammie first. Sammie's gonna guess.
Where's
do it, Sammy.
Listen, there have been no reasons for me to pick this movie, okay? But like, listen, honestly, I know one of their filmographies, okay? None of this describes the movie, but in 2012, Amanda Seyfried was in a movie called Gone, and I'm just gonna guess that.
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
The Les Mis.
JD, what do you think this movie is?
This is lame, Miz.
In
No.
2012,
She was
Amanda
also in-
Seyfried did a movie called Les Miserables.
I know she did. In case you can't tell, I am going for low score tonight.
Nicely done, Sammy.
Wow.
It's going for low score, and then there's denying yourself actual points.
Marty is so upset that they're not playing right now.
Okay, I gave her the option. I gave him the option.
Well, at the end of the first round, wouldn't you know it, our first place was 0 points as Lloyd.
Of course.
That's why you don't guess.
JD and Josh tied at -1, Sammie at -5.
I gave them the option to come on the show.
Oh my gosh.
Marty says, have fun, Joshua.
We're doing so well.
Josh, you do get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from 1997, 2017, or 2022?
I'm gonna pick
I don't know.
2022.
2022.
Why?
I don't know.
You asshole.
All right, this movie came
We
out.
all
at
know
some
what the
point.
1911 was.
This movie came out at some point in the last 10 months. 2022 for 5 points under sex and nudity.
Josh hates us.
A woman's outfit, while not having as much cleavage showing as in the previous movies, is still very form-fitting around her curves and bust.
Huh.
A woman's outfit, while not having as much cleavage showing as in previous movies, is still very form-fitting around her curves and bust. Sammie and Josh have both buzzed in. Anybody else? Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is, even though it came out well before now, this is Ted 2.
Josh, what is this movie?
I told you,
Crazy
Amanda
Multiverse of
made
Madness.
some mistakes, and so did I.
This movie is not Ted 2. This movie is the aforementioned Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with Rachel McAdams.
Ted 2. Really?
I gotta bet the fact that
Listen,
in
it
the
had
other
a mean
movies-
girl in it.
in the other movies.
Other
Weird. It doesn't. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick. It's your show.
other warnings in Multiverse of Madness under violence and gore. A monster's eye socket is hit with a weapon. After that, its eye is thrown out of its body. Quite gross and can disgust some viewers. Violence and gore, a character gets hit by magical powers. Violence and gore, most of the violence is quite gory. In fact, this is the goriest film in the universe by a mile. but there is minimal blood, and the poor effects and fast editing make the gruesome deaths feel less violent than they are. And alcohol, drugs, and smoking, after traversing the multiverse and being questioned on if he's feeling nauseous, the hero replies, quote, "It's not my first weird trip, kid," referencing psychedelic drug use.
That's why I picked 2022.
Josh got the one movie he was going to get tonight.
Oh,
Listen, if you don't guess again, you can win.
I really can.
Let us. Also, I am only guessing Amanda Seyfried movies, and it wasn't the Dropout series. So
You're only guessing Amanda Seyfried movies, and the first clue was an Amanda Seyfried movie, and you didn't guess it.
You guessed 5 movies that weren't it.
I know.
One of them wasn't an Amanda Seyfried movie. In fact, 3 of them weren't Amanda Seyfried movies, if I remember correctly.
When have I ever stuck to a plan?
Josh now in first place with 4 points.
Oh my God.
Lloyd is still in second place with 0 points. JD at -1, Sammie at -6. Lloyd, would you like a movie from 2011, 2016, or 2020?
2016.
2016.
In hindsight, he's going to wish he picked 2020.
I was there. Don't need to revisit it.
You must be so bummed that it hasn't been 2020 in 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
I bet every couple of hours that
Yeah,
joke is coming out of you.
Just nostalgic for.
Or do you just wish that you did that? If you could go back, would you do that?
I'm so
would, yeah.
nostalgic.
Knowing what you know now?
Knowing what I know now, yes.
You know what they say? Hindsight was. Anyway, go ahead.
This movie's from 2016 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. And end credits scene shows a character drinking beer, but it is in a humorous fashion.
Oh, Lord.
Josh
Can
has a
you say
guess.
once more?
Lloyd
I'm so
has a
sorry.
guess. Yep. It is at an end credit scene shows a character drinking beer, but it's in a humorous fashion.
Huh.
All right. Lloyd, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Whiskey Tango Foxtrot?
Josh, what do you think?
Yes, Doctor Strange.
I do feel like I need to reiterate, Tina Fey is not one of the actors we're pulling from. It is not Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. This is the first Doctor Strange.
God damn it.
Serious? Is Josh really winning me?
I'm really excited for Josh's win.
Don't worry, there are no more Doctor Strange movies.
You said end credit scene. What the hell? Don't people aren't paying attention. You said end credit scene.
One of the few movies I watched in 2016 didn't pay off.
Other clues in the first Doctor Strange under frightening and intense scenes. There are a few surreal sequences which may bother some viewers.
Hey, Marty, I'm
Violence and
having
gore.
fun.
I was just gonna guess Ted 2 again. So
Violence and gore. A villain binds
Here it
a
actually
man with
came out.
magic, then decapitates him. The latter happens off screen and only the impact is heard. Violence and gore. The post-accident shots of a man are both bloody and kind of gruesome, with all of the stabilizing metal work coming out of his hands, and his face is disfigured and scarred. And the main character's spirit projection appears out of his body, scaring the doctor in the room. He gives her guidance through the projection. Josh is up to 9 points. JD and Lloyd tied at -1. Sammie at -6.
Josh is winning Mean Girls.
Don't worry.
I need a minute.
I think Josh is done.
Yeah, I'm done. That's it.
Looking at the list of movies I have, we'll see.
I'm done.
Sammie,
Yeah.
would you like a movie from 2000, 2009, or 2018?
2009.
2009. from 2009 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A man takes a bottle wrapped in a brown paper bag out of his pocket at a diner and pours alcohol into his drink. Sammie was real quick to buzz in. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Yeah, man.
Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
If it's not Jennifer's Body, then I don't know what it is, because that's 2009.
Sammie does not know what this movie is.
All right. I figured you used it before.
For 4 points under violence and gore, a woman engaged in active labor is covered in sweat, and she turns to a man who is holding her hand and screams in pain. She moans, and a crying baby is heard. The woman is wearing a hospital gown, and no blood is shown.
That's violence?
That is violence, apparently. And or gore. Sammie has another guess.
Some of us find that very violent. Okay, I'm just saying.
Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
I actually never saw this movie, but I know it's an Amanda Seyfried movie that was around that time. I don't know what year, but she was in some movie called Dear John. So let's find out.
She was in a movie called Dear John. This is not Dear John.
Dear Sammie.
You don't have to say. I have like a real, just like, I'm in awe of Josh Pick right now because I'm exhausted. And it's been one go around.
Sammie, you need more cough syrup if we're going to get to Josh Pick levels.
Josh Pick had many kids on
3 points under sex and nudity. A man stands nude in an alley. His bare buttocks and back are shown, and he turns, and his bare chest and shoulders are shown. The man's bare buttocks are shown in dim light when he walks to get into bed with his wife. We have 2 hands up. Anybody else?
That really narrows the film.
What was the second
JD, what was that?
What was the second clue?
Second clue, woman in active labor.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know.
JD, what do you think this movie is?
I'm gonna say Sin City 2.
Sammie, what do you think?
I was gonna say that.
I feel really happy now. Okay.
It
At least
is
if we lose together.
not Sin City 2.
Damn it.
I changed Mean Girls for this.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, Henry's relationship with Claire when she is younger could be deemed questionable as he kisses her when she is 18.
Claire. Yes.
I see 2 people buzzed in, but they're the same 2 people, and I don't know if they're still buzzed in on purpose. All right, JD, what do you think?
What year is this again?
Oh, no,
No, you don't.
I didn't know how to.
All right.
No, I didn't know how to put that back.
Well, the fact that everybody backs out the second we find out 2 of the characters' names. We're like, no, we don't know.
All right. Final clue for 1 point under frightening and intense scenes. Henry's involuntary passage into different times and places is not only confusing to the story, but could also even qualify as disturbing to children.
Oh, damn!
I know which Mean Girl it is.
I see everyone but Lloyd. Lloyd, you don't have it?
Now I know.
JD, what do you think?
I was the time traveler's wife.
Sammie, what do you think?
This is the time traveler's wife. I'm okay making a real guess. I'm not gonna win.
Josh, what do you think?
Time traveler's wife.
This is the 3rd Rachel McAdams is in love with somebody who traverses time movie in a row. It is the time traveler's wife. We have, as far as I know, 2 more of those. I don't know if either of them are on the list, but Rachel McAdams in love with the time travelers at least 5 movies.
I love Rachel.
Yeah,
I love Bill and Ted and Rachel McAdams' amazing journey.
Josh remains in the lead with 9 points.
Should have 10.
You should have 10. I gave the point to the wrong person. You're at 10 points. JD is in second place with 0. Lloyd at -1. Sammie at -8.
Wonderful.
Sammie, I'm loving strategy.
Everything to play for.
JD, would you like a movie from 2002, 2006, or 2015?
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
No longer on cassette. It was most of my first dates.
Well,
Right from
it's not an
2002.
Amanda Seyfried movie. You know that.
2002 for 5 points under sex and nudity. None regarding humans, but we do see some baboons bare butts on several occasions.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Sex and nudity, none regarding humans, but we do see some baboons bare butts on several occasions.
Baboons.
Baboons bare butts.
I have a guess,
Fun
but
to
I
say.
don't think it's too early.
All right,
It
Josh,
would be
what do you
really
think?
weird if that's the movie.
Hold on. JD, what do you think?
That it seems a little bit
It's really early.
right.
You know what? Oh man,
Hold
I'm
on.
already losing. You know?
Sammie's gonna guess. Lloyd, you sure you don't want to take a guess on this 5-point baboon?
No, I'm
butt
putting my
quiz?
hand down.
All right.
Go for it, JD. Go for it. Have fun.
Okay, JD, what do you think?
You know, I'm gonna let Josh have it. I want to see the master. Just go for it. Actually,
Weird strategy. Josh, what's
is-
this movie?
I don't know. I mean, I did a little bit of studying before this, and the one movie that kind of jumps out at me for that is The Rugrats Go Wild.
It is not the Rugrats Go Wild.
Lacey Chabert
I'm
was in that.
really glad I chose to let Josh take that. Thank you, Josh.
And Lacey Chabert was in it.
For 4 points under violence and gore. Poachers tried to kill elephants twice.
Oh my god. Oh my
Once
god.
with explosives and electric fences, and again with guns.
I know what it is.
Sammie's
Wait,
really. Yep, it's poachers
Poachers?
try to kill elephants twice, once with explosives and electric fences, and again with guns. All right, I think it's going to be JD. What do you think this movie is?
Dumbo.
Sammie, what do you think?
2002. I actually listen. I'm going by I don't remember the plot of this movie. I don't remember elephants being killed. Okay. Yes, there's a lot of preamble to my guesses, Nick. You know this. Okay. But I'm one of the mean girls must have been a voice in this cartoon, the Wild Thornberrys movie.
What?
I'm wrong.
Oh my God.
It is
That's
not Dumbo.
genius.
Lacey Chabert was the voice of Eliza Thornberry all
That's
throughout the series. This is the Wild
And now I
Thornberry.
begin my climb from the bottom.
So
Josh
the
was
other
so
one.
close, he picked the Wild
close.
Thornberry movie that the Rugrats are
Yeah.
in.
I did.
It was
The absolute. By the way, that was
I knew nothing. I just remember this movie.
the best thing about that was
Okay.
the absolute shock
I'm gonna
that Sammie had about Dumbo. Just the
I
absolute
can still come back from this.
2002.
I
You
can't.
sure can. Everybody can come back.
I need to see
We are
his face.
not even
This is
halfway
gonna
through this
happen.
game, but we have a lot of conversation happening.
So I'm at
We have to be
-4 now. Anything
Josh.
can happen. Unless
Uh,
I'm not.
Also in Wild Thornberries, under frightening and intense scenes, the main character at the end is grabbed by the film's main antagonist, who throws her into a river. She almost drowns until she's saved by the shaman. Violence and gore, Sloane grabs Debbie around the neck, while a local native grabs Sloane's head. Sloane then elbows that man back against a camper. Sloane carries Debbie out to the ledge and throws her down. She's okay. And frightening and intense scenes when Eliza exposes her secret about communicating with animals. We see what appears to be a storm appear, and it causes things to fly away or tip over. Josh is now at 9.
Yeah.
JD and Lloyd at -1. Sammie is correct, -4.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, I don't care who does it, Sammie. At the end of the day, you and I are good friends, and I think that we need to band together against evil that is Josh. We can't let Josh win this. I'm sorry.
I'm really excited. I'm actually really excited for Josh's potential win.
No!
It's like if there's a game,
the audience doesn't want to see him win. Josh, you do get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie from
I'm not evil. How could a bunny be evil?
Breaks the heel roll, Josh.
Josh, would you like a movie from 1997, 2003, or 2017?
What, 2003?
2003.
Yeah, that's when Mean Girls came out.
Is JB frozen?
That is a good question. JB, are you still here?
Yeah. I like
your connection is awful right now. I can kind of hear your voice and
I have
your
to go
face
check
is
on my
frozen.
dog. You know I leave in the middle of
Yes.
It's a perfect frozen image, though.
Is that better?
No, not yet.
Okay. Here.
Can kind of hear you. And they're gone.
And Sammie is too.
And Sammie is too. Well, we had fun tonight, folks.
Great show. Josh won.
So this is. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it on this live. AT&T is not a good company, you guys. Like, just
Breaking news! Who knew? Shocked! I can't believe it.
I don't recommend 2 thumbs down.
I mean, I guess while Sammie's gone, let's take a minute to thank our sponsors, AT&T, the nation's greatest network.
Disappointing their customers since before Mean Girls came out.
Just when you think AT is good, wait till you get a second T.
It's not good. 2 thumbs down. Do not recommend.
That's what a really thirsty British person does at 4:00. You have AT and T.
Yep. AT&T, awful, terrible, and tedious.
It's my go-to drink at the bar. It's a tonic and tonic.
Oh, I get those with a little bit of lime. Just a little bit of lime.
I think I had that test done while I was in the hospital last week.
I want to read this first clue, but I don't want to read it with Sammie gone.
I mean, it's
So
not
what do we want
like
to talk about?
okay. So it all started when I was 3.
2003.
What started when you were 3?
No.
We'll tell you, I had a
Josh,
fun
so
time in the
how
hospital last
long?
week.
Oh yeah, you can talk about that. You okay with
Oh,
that?
and Sammie's back.
Oh, Sammie's back. Thank God.
We don't have to hear about that now.
What, the 2 stents
I want
I
to
got put in
hear
my heart?
about that. What?
2 stents I got put in my heart?
What year?
So
did
take
movie
that,
come out?
anybody who thinks that Josh is heartless, no matter how many
Yeah.
times I've said it. Guy's got stents in there now.
Wait, what year is this?
This movie's from 2003.
That was the first clue.
For
Yeah,
five
that's-
for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Various characters hold drinks in a few scenes, but it's impossible to tell what's in them, other than one scene where people have what looks like champagne.
And this is from 2003.
Sure is.
2003.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Lloyd has a guess.
I just
Nice.
want to clarify the year.
It
Like
is
I'm
2003.
clarifying. I'm sure.
2 years
And they
after
have
everything changed.
glasses. Okay.
JD, what do you think this movie is?
From 2003.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Mm. Mm.
You don't have to have a guess, JD.
I'm gonna wait.
I don't.
Okay,
Wait.
Sammie,
No.
what do you think this movie is?
Is this Freaky Friday? Listen. It's the other Lindsay Lohan movie. I know.
JD, I will go back to you because your hand's still up, and technically this is still the order. Do you want to guess?
You know what? I'm gonna steal Sammy's guess. Actually, I'm sorry, Sammie.
What do you think?
Okay.
That's me, or
I'm asking you, Lloyd.
it's 2003. I gotta go with Freaky Friday.
You have to go with Freaky Friday. Everybody has to go with Freaky Friday. This movie isn't Freaky Friday.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
How can you have a Mean Girls movie in 2003 and it not be Freaky Friday? I know it's obvious, but it's also the most notable and the most memorable, and you're pulling the goddamn Nicolas Cage heavy show, not having Face Off all over again.
Are you okay, buddy? Are you gonna be okay? He needs a minute.
He's not even muted.
And staying up. We're back.
He just started yelling. He just started yelling.
I tried.
All right. For 4 points under violence and gore, and just so you know, 3 of you still have your hands up. You just want to
put
make
it
that
down
known.
if I don't know it.
I'll put it down if I don't know it.
For 4
I already
points,
put it down.
I won't.
under violence and gore, a man accidentally falls, bounces down a cliff, and lands crotch first on a branch. He then falls off that, bounces some more, and lands on the ground.
He falls.
He falls,
My
bounces
hand's
down a
supposed to
cliff,
still be up.
lands crotch first on a branch, falls off that, bounces some more, lands on the ground. Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
This is, of course, Hallmark's When You Wish Upon a Cliff.
Josh, what do you think?
I'm just gonna make a wild guess here.
Mhm.
Say the Simpsons movie.
JD, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna put my hand down.
All right. It is surprisingly not When You Wish Upon a Cliff. It is also not the Simpsons movie.
But Homer did that.
He did do that.
Like a couple years later, though.
Very entertaining.
Not as surprising as the fact that it isn't Freaky Friday, which did come out in 2003, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's right there. It's so obvious. What is wrong with this game?
Listen, Mean Girls was Amanda Seyfried's first movie, so anything before 2004, I don't know.
Marty is asking me if this is what they think it is. And Marty, I literally cannot tell you. First of all, I don't know what you think it is. And second of all, we're playing a game. I'll
tell Marty what it should be.
Let me go look in that
Friday, which came out in 2003, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's right there.
Listen, Rachel McAdams had to have been in a movie in 2003. What movie was Rachel McAdams in?
I don't know, Sammy, but I do know that the star of Mean Girls, one of them, Lindsay Lohan, was in Freaky Friday, which came out in 2003.
Points.
3 points under violence, under frightening and intense scenes. One of the bigger scenes in the movie is when the characters encounter a large storm that causes them to abandon ship. This might be suspenseful to some younger viewers.
Not Freaky Friday.
That shut everybody up. Huh? Josh has a guess.
No,
he
no.
doesn't.
They abandoned.
They
ship?
abandoned ship due to a large
I don't think
storm.
I don't think they made a movie about this, but I mean, I'll try it.
You'll try it?
What
What do
the
you
hell?
think? What are you going to try, Josh?
Gilligan's Island?
No,
I
it is
have
not
a
Gilligan's
guess,
Island.
but I'm gonna wait.
All
I
right. Well, you have plenty of time to wait. We got 2 more clues under sex and nudity for 2 points. We see a character naked washing his clothes at a waterfall, but we only see his butt and no private parts. In addition, we see many other baby butts throughout the movie.
Oh my God.
That was my guess before, but I was like, there's no way that came out after the Thornberrys movie.
Wonderful. So it's a movie that Matt Gaetz would enjoy. Great.
Are you telling me you don't have a guess, Lloyd?
It's not Freaky Friday. What the fuck do I care?
JD, what do you think this movie is?
I think this is the Rugrats movie, right? The wild ride thing.
My God.
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
Rugrats Go Wild.
Sammy?
The Rugrats movie, which is probably called what Josh called it, but I'm only guessing because it was guessed once before, and apparently Lacey Chabert does voice acting, and here we go. Now we find out.
Lacey Chabert has been a voice actor since childhood, and she also voiced Eliza Thornberry in the sequel to both Rugrats and The Wild Thornberrys, Rugrats Go Wild.
Huh. I didn't know that was a movie.
Oh yeah, it is the movie where the Rugrats meet the Wild Thornberrys, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. It is terrible. You know what wasn't terrible? Freaky Friday, which came out in 2003, starring Lindsay Lohan. But no, you got to go with a cartoon movie with one cartoon 10 years past its prime and one cartoon that everybody wanted to come back until they saw that movie. That's what you go with 2003. Oh, fuck.
Listen, it's not a game until Lloyd leaves the room.
Is he
Marty,
gone?
was that you were thinking? Sound off in the comments.
Visibly upset.
Final clue under frightening and intense scenes at the beginning of the movie. Tommy and his young friends are in the jungle when they encounter a ferocious tiger that chases and bites at them. They eventually elude it, but then encounter an initially menacing-looking crocodile. They end up sinking in some mud, but all that turns out to have been the imagination of one/all of them, as Angelica tells the story of such adventures and dangers.
Wait. Is the plot of this movie that Eliza Thornberry can also talk to babies?
Oh my God. I think so. I
didn't know this was a movie until today. So
I've only seen it once, and I was way too old to have seen it. I didn't see it at the time.
It's like,
Why is Lloyd messaging me about Freaky Friday?
I have no idea where we are now. Who said that? Josh? Lloyd, if you're still here, if you're still alive, I'm gonna ask you to pick a year. Lloyd, I'm gonna say this out into the ether. If you want to pick a year, say the year. Lloyd, would you like a movie from 2000, 2011, or 2020?
He just oh my gosh.
2000, 2011, 2020, Lloyd. Whatever you want.
He's really not there, is he?
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
2011.
Lloyd.
2011.
I thought you just left. That was funny.
All right, from 2011 for 5 points.
Sammy, why do you have your hand raised?
Because Amanda Seyfried was in a movie in 2011.
Mm-hmm. From 2011, we got 2 hands up already. For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Several tavern scenes depict men drinking alcohol from metal tankards and leather flasks. JD, what do you think this movie is?
Of course, Nick. This is going to be the movie I finally get right. This is, of course, Disney's flagship, Frozen.
Sammy, what do you think this movie is?
Listen, it's probably that, okay? But I have been loyal for this game unless it's a year that I can't think of. Okay, so I'm going to say I've already guessed it once tonight. This is Amanda Seyfried, Little Red Riding Hood, which is, that might not even be what it's called, but you know what I mean.
It is not Frozen. This is literally the only episode where this movie will be guessed on the 5-point clue. It is just called Red Riding Hood, but I will give it to Sammie.
What?
This is Amanda Seyfried in Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Sammie.
I'm in the positives. I might not.
You are not. But you're also not in the negatives.
Oh.
Am I in the positives?
You sure aren't.
No.
Oh my, I'm gonna feel so bad if JD loses this.
Yeah. It's all negative. It's all negative. You know what else is negative? The fact that we were just in 2003 and it was not Freaky Friday, which, by the way, stars Lindsay Lohan. It's right there.
He's upset. Yes.
It's just another manic Monday for Lloyd.
Also in Red Riding Hood, if anybody's interested what happens in this movie.
Not really.
Under violence and gore, woodsmen work together with large axes, chopping logs and stumps. Sex and nudity, there's a flashback of the time of the sex scene, but doesn't show anything, but is implied. This happens when she gets water after meeting Grandma.
That made no sense.
Violence and gore, several men and women offer animal sacrifices to appease a wolf. A piglet is strapped to a stump in the town square. A goat is strapped to the same stump later, and a woman is strapped to the stump. A little girl stands by the piglet and cries. None of the three is harmed.
All the animals, the piglet, whatever, the goat and the woman.
And violence and gore, a young woman sees a wolf head shadow in a bed. Josh is at 8. Sammie is at 0.
Was that
JD and Lloyd are -2.
So that one of those schools had a flashback. I got a flashback for you. The top of their show. When Nick asked me, what movie would you recommend?
It's okay. It's okay. You know what?
Friday.
Okay. Lloyd. Deep breaths, buddy. Deep breaths.
I can't right now, Josh, but I appreciate your concern. You're a good man.
Lloyd, if you keep this up, at some point we're going to end up switching places, and I do not know how to reverse that. I have not seen the movie.
Don't look at the sun together. That's all I'm saying.
Sammie, would you like a movie from 2000, 2006, or 2018?
Just skip over
2003. I was going to flip it.
2006, I guess.
2006.
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, for 2006 for 5 points under violence and gore. Someone is shot at the end of the film, and you see blood spraying on people's faces. Also, a couple of people are shot with a decent amount of blood. JD and Sammie have guesses. Anybody else?
No!
Okay, Lloyd. Sammie, what do you think?
I'm gonna guess Sin City.
JD, what do you think?
This is 2000. You said 2006?
Yep.
2006. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say
right.
No. To that. No.
All right.
I'm gonna put my head down, actually.
Okay, great.
Just gonna
It is not Sin City.
Yeah, she wasn't in that one.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Besides the always drunk singer, Demi Moore, There's only background drinking and the mentioning of it.
Fucking shit.
Oh,
Fuck.
that movie.
That movie.
That starred someone from Mean
movie.
Girls.
Wait,
With a drunk singer played by Demi Moore.
Was it
Oh,
drunk?
Oh boy.
Demi Moore. She's drunk.
Was it
That's
her
important.
wedding to Ashton Kutcher?
All right, 3 points under alcohol,
All right.
drugs, and smoking. Much background smoking. Concerning the leading roles, the characters played by Demi Moore, Christian Slater, David Krumholtz, and Joshua Jackson smoke cigarettes too.
Know this.
I'm just listing the cast of this movie.
I know, and that's
All right. Lloyd, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Half-Light?
Half-Light? I don't know what that movie is. It is not Half-Light.
God damn it. All right. I'll take
no,
that.
no. Go ahead.
For 2 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, get ready for some more actors. Cooper, Shia LaBeouf, in Ginny, Brian Garrity, Buy Drugs, LSD, From a Dealer, Ashton Kutcher, and Use It with Heavy Consequences. There's also some talking about drugs.
2006?
2006.
Huh.
Demi Moore, Christian Slater, David Krumholtz, Joshua Jackson, Shia LaBeouf, Brian Garrity, Ashton Kutcher all in this movie. JD, do you have a guess?
Is this The End by Seth Rogen?
It is not This Is the End.
This is okay.
Final clue for 1 point under frightening and intense scenes. Kennedy's assassination can be disturbing. Lloyd has a guess. JD's hand is still up.
No,
Sammie has a
sorry.
guess. Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
No.
All right. Lloyd, what do you think this movie is?
This has to be Bobby.
I am shocked that you got the right Kennedy and the right movie.
Almost said it and then said no.
This is the Emilio Estevez movie with Lindsay Lohan about Bobby Kennedy. Bobby.
The only thing I ever cared about Emilio Estevez in besides Mighty Ducks.
And at work, Repo Man, Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
Breakfast Club,
I stand by what
Breakfast Club.
Repo Man's fantastic.
Young Guns,
Hey,
Young Guns 2.
The
D2,
movies,
The Mighty
right,
Ducks.
Emilio Estevez, I stand by what I said.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure
Repo
he's
Man.
watching.
Repo Man is amazing.
but
Emilio
excellent
Estevez, I guess,
poll,
next
Lloyd.
week.
I didn't say Repo Man wasn't amazing, just Emilio Estevez.
You evened yourself out there. You got 0 points altogether, but you evened yourself out. Josh still in the lead at 8 points.
Stay even, Lloyd. Stay even.
Sammie is now in second place with -1 point. Lloyd at -2, JD at -3.
Sweet.
4 movies remain. One more go around. One more for each of you. That means there's still 20 points to be had. I don't feel like they're going to be had, but they're there. JD, would
Yes.
you like a movie from 1997, 2015, or 2017?
2017.
2017. JD already has a guess. This movie from 2017 for 5 points under sex and nudity. A woman briefly hooks up with a man in the bathroom of a bar. Only sexual movements are seen. No nudity as they are clothed.
I made a Wolverine made of Legos.
All right, JD, what's your guess on this one?
Disobedience.
Again, the only time this movie will ever be guessed on the 5-point clue. I put it in here because you mentioned it the other day.
Yes!
This is Rachel McAdams in Disobedience.
I was waiting. I was going to guess it on the 4th.
Thank you.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
You're ahead of me now, JD. Unless you're not.
Also,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Also in Disobedience, under Sex and Nudity, a wife undresses herself completely and lays under the covers waiting for her husband to make love. Breasts and female butt are shown in 2 separate shots for a couple of seconds each. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Ronit was smoking in numerous scenes, and at one point, Dovid joined her. Many of the characters consumed wine or alcoholic drinks. On the night that Ronit found out that her father had died, she drinks alcohol, and the implication is that she went on a bender. Frightening and intense scenes, the main character's father, a rabbi, collapses while giving a sermon to a crowded synagogue and dies later on. And Sex and Nudity, 2 women have sex. They kiss passionately and masturbate each other for several minutes. One woman spits into the other woman's mouth. It is implied that one woman performs oral sex on the other. The woman receiving is shown reaching orgasm. Semi-graphic, but with no nudity.
What the fuck is the point?
So yeah, that is a movie that I only know as the movie that Rachel Weisz spits into Rachel McAdams' mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And JD got it on 5 points, bringing JD to second place with 2 points.
Thank
back in the
you.
positives. Josh
Thank
is still
you.
at 8, Sammie at -1, Lloyd at -2. 3 movies left. Josh, you get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from 2000, 2018, or 2020?
2000.
2000.
In the year 2000.
From 2000, JD is already raised. All right, let's see. 2000 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. There is mild drinking at the company party.
At the company party?
At the company party.
Well, it wasn't
2000.
Cisco
JD
Song.
does no longer has a guess.
At the
4
company
points.
party.
Under frightening and intense scenes, a girl tells her father that she hates him. She yells this.
Oh, I've seen this. I think this is a Lindsay Lohan movie.
JD has a guess. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Not yet.
JD, what do you think this movie is?
Rugrats.
It is not Rugrats. We're done with the Rugrats movies.
Okay.
For 3
2000.
points under frightening and intense scenes, the main character, an 11-year-old girl, tries to bring her deceased mother back to life using spells and black magic. This may disturb or upset
What is this
some.
movie called?
Oh, man.
None of us know.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, Eve tells a man that she is anatomically correct.
Oh,
I've fucking seen this.
oh.
Lloyd
Oh!
and JD have both buzzed in. Anybody else?
I'm upset.
Lloyd, do you know what this movie is?
I think so. Is it life size?
JD, what do you think?
I think this is the Tyra Banks movie Life Size.
Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan in Life Size.
I haven't seen this.
What the fuck movie is life size?
Life Size is a movie where Lindsay Lohan tries to bring her mother back from the dead using black magic and instead brings her doll to life, played by Tyra Banks. And then the doll wants to be her mother figure.
You know
It
life
didn't fucking
size.
exist.
It's
Life Size. It came out in 2000, 3 years before Freaky Friday, which is in 2003, and stars Lindsay Lohan. It should have been there before, but we won't get into that right now.
Marty says that Life Size was an awakening movie for them.
Oh, okay.
Final clue under sex and nudity: when Eve comes alive, she awakens in the main character's bed and claims that she is Eve's, quote, special friend, suggesting pedophilia. However, this will probably go over the head of most young children, and considering this one of Eve's pre-recorded sayings, it isn't meant to be sexual in any way. Also, they just had a sequel for it like last year.
Really?
There's a Life Size 2 with Tyra Banks, but not with Lindsay Lohan.
Wow.
So
Even Daryl Hannah gave up being the tall woman after the first one.
2 movies remain. Josh is at 8. JD is at 3. Lloyd is at 0. Sammie, from second to last, now at -1.
It's fine.
This really is anybody's game. There's still 10 points to be had. Lloyd gets to pick this one, and I'm just going through trying to see what movies are left.
Don't say 2003.
I know one
Don't
that
say
should be left.
2003. Do not say 2003.
Lloyd, would you like a movie from 1997, 2015, or 2020?
You know what? At this point, why not? 2020.
2020.
You just want to see the world burn. That's what that
Because
is.
he won't give me 2003, so I may as well go for the lowest possible denominator.
Considering I only have 4 movies left
goodness.
on the list, I need you to know that Freaky Friday has been used in this game previously this year. It was never going to be on the show tonight.
Then why did you have a freaking show based on movies starring people from Mean Girls?
Because they've been in other movies.
Right there, Nick. It's right there. It
They've
happened.
been in other movies, you know.
It's in the record books. It was
She's been in Life Size and Bobby.
Let's not get angry about Tim Meadows
He was in
helping on the
that Prairie
show.
Home Companion movie.
She sure was. This movie, penultimate movie from 2020, for 5 points under profanity, mostly insult language, such as moron, pinheads, worthless, imbecile, and stupid.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that is.
All right, Sammie, you buzzed in real quick. What do you think this movie is?
Well, it's not You Should Have Left, but that came out in 2020, starring Amanda Seyfried, married to Kevin Bacon in the movie.
That all of that is true, except for it being the answer. It is not You Should Have Left.
Trust me, Sammie, I know how you feel.
I feel fine.
That should have been in the year.
No, you don't. I feel fine.
Left. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. Don't come here. It's not comfortable. It's terrible where I am mentally right now.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, Fred in one scene flirts with a female police officer, suggestively, and can't keep his eyes off.
It's this.
No, this can't. No, it can't be.
All right, Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Didn't they do like a bad Scooby-Doo movie? One of them was in it, I guess.
You know what? If anybody else knows the real name of this movie, they can steal it from Sammie. JD, what do you think this movie is?
Scooby. The name.
It is not Scooby.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh, damn.
Scooby-Doo!
Well, I'm gonna give it to Sammie for getting close. Amanda Seyfried plays Velma in Scoob! Exclamation point.
Oh, I was off
Well,
by
listen,
one letter.
Amanda Seyfried's in it, so I do need to watch it now.
There are some good things in that movie.
I know. All I knew is that there
There are
was.
also some real awful things, like a photorealistic Simon Cowell character in a movie that came out in 2020.
I was like someone named Fred. I remember they made a Scooby-Doo movie. I was like, let's find out.
Also, I love Will Forte. He's kind of a weird Shaggy.
That is a weird choice.
The worst thing about the movie Scoob is that it's still not as bad as the cartoon What's New Scooby-Doo, which I should know.
I love What's New Scooby-Doo.
I made a little squirrel out of a gum wrapper.
All right, fair enough.
Josh got his points early in the game and stopped playing the game.
Yeah,
that's how you play this game.
I built that Wolverine Lego while we were playing the game.
Which is smart because going into the final round.
I think I'm at 0.
You're going to be excited then. Also in Scoob, under frightening and intense scenes, the last 20 minutes or so involve opening the gates to the underworld to release Cerebus, who is a large ghost dog. They also involve a final battle to defeat Dastardly. Sex and nudity, a dog receives a ticking blast of air/technology on his sensitive spot when getting his new superhero suit. And profanity, Shaggy mentions dropping F-bombs. However, Blue Falcon misinterprets what Shaggy says and warns him to keep the movie PG. Shaggy was actually referring to his Falcon bombs and not the actual F-bomb meaning.
That was a cute moment.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg plays Blue Falcon in this movie.
Fuck Mark
It's a
Wahlberg.
weird movie.
There's a lot happening. Not all of it was good, but there was definitely a lot happening.
Well, one movie remains. It's not a complete runaway. Josh is at 8. JD, if you can get the 5-point clue, you are at 3 and can cause a tie. Sammie's at 2. Lloyd is at 0.
How am I at 2?
You got 3 points for that one.
I collected all these state quarters while we were waiting.
Sammy,
Nicely
you get to
done,
pick
Sammy.
the last movie, and there's only 3 of them left.
Okay.
Would you like a movie from 1997, 2015, or 2018?
You know what? I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna say 1997, and JD and Josh can fight for this.
Thank you, Sammy.
Have a
Let's
blast.
do this, Josh.
1997.
I
know what I think it is.
For
Do
5
what? I'm
points.
not going to answer.
For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Pretty dark for a kid's movie.
For 1997?
1997. Pretty dark for a kid's movie.
Like, I know what it is, but also I'm waiting for Nick to be like, no, JD, that's not it. Even though I'm like,
I mean, I
pretty sure
can't
I
do
know
that
what
if you
it
don't
is.
guess.
you know what? I'm just going to.
Oh yeah, Robin said chicks in the car in 1997. Really dark.
All right. It's pretty dark for a kid's movie. Let's go with 1997.
Great movie, 1997.
We'll do Rugrats. I'll do Rugrats, Nick.
What?
We'll do Rugrats. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
I mean, it had dark moments, but
I'm kidding. We're actually gonna do.
Tommy did threaten to kill his brother.
Sammy wants
He
to,
sure did.
visibly reach through the screen and like bitch slap my idiot hole. You can just tell. Like, how are you getting this wrong?
You don't have to guess. This can just be Josh's game.
That movie also made me
No.
It also made me sympathetic to Angelica, which is really dark.
We'll just say Wild Thornberries, right?
The
It was
movie that
already
came up
guessed.
tonight.
Yes.
I don't know.
Don't guess, JD. Keep your 3 points. Feel good about yourself.
All right, I won't guess.
For 4
Okay.
points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man and others have champagne at their table, but don't drink any, in a Parisian musical number. In a song, a man sings about a man loving vodka. People are seen smoking on the streets of Paris, and one of the women, hoping to pose as the main character, is holding a cigarette holder with a smoldering cigarette in it.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of information for a 4-point clue.
Uh-huh.
Can you
But I
do
will
that
say-
like once more? Like a little.
Man and others have champagne at their table but don't drink any in a Parisian musical number. In a song, a man sings about a man loving vodka.
Yes.
People are seen smoking in the streets of Paris, and one of the women, hoping to pose as the main character, is holding a cigarette holder with a smoldering cigarette in it.
Went to Plaster Fun Time, painted this.
All right, for 3 points under frightening and intense scenes. I don't even know if Sammie's here anymore, but she already kind of bowed out of the game.
Sammie's so mad at me for getting this wrong.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, during the scene where the villain sells his soul, his flesh is consumed, and he's left nothing but a live skeleton, though his form is returned when he's given possession of the reliquary. My mouth does not want to say this word.
The MacGuffin.
Reliquary.
Thank you. Reliquary. Anyway, this villain sells his soul and his flesh is consumed. All right, for 2 points under sex and nudity, the main characters share a long kiss at the end. Moments later, Bartok gets kissed by a female bat.
Oh, you do know it.
Oh,
Josh might know it. Does anybody else know what this movie is?
No.
All right, JD, what do you think?
Bartok. I'm gonna say Anastasia.
Josh, what do you think?
Oh,
Anastasia.
my God. Yeah, that's what it is.
A young Lacey Chabert was one of the, I think, young Anastasia in the movie.
Yep.
Anastasia.
Yep.
The only Lacey Chabert movie I knew.
Totally forgot that. That existed. Fuck.
I lost to Josh, y'all.
1 year later, and I would have had the Parent Trap. God damn.
You
I got
wouldn't
it,
have,
Sammie.
Lloyd.
Just wanted 5.
Parent Trap is also a movie we've done multiple times on
But
this
it
show.
came out in 1990. We won't get into it.
Well, it's gonna be okay, buddy. They also
Under-
did Dear John before.
Under frightening and intense scenes, Rasputin has a reliquary that has a green glowing substance inside, as well as a snake running around the outside and a human skull on top, all of which may be disturbing to young kids. That was Anastasia. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight. Lloyd worked so hard for this 0. Followed by Sammie at 2, JD at 5.
Listen, you beat me.
Josh
Yay!
running away with this at 10 points, meaning Josh won the Mean Girls episode.
Yes.
Wait, I want to hear a speech. Speech, Josh. Speech.
I worked with Amy Poehler at an ice cream place in 1994.
She's like a cool mom.
Yeah, but I actually
She's
worked with
cool
her at an ice
because
cream
her
place.
and Rachel McAdams were almost the same age.
Yes. That's my speech.
Just to let you know, the 2 movies we didn't get to were Amanda Seyfried in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again,
God damn it.
and Amanda Seyfried in Ted 2. This was so much fun. Thank you all for doing this. Before we go, as always, if there was anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or any last words, Lloyd, I'll start with you.
Oh, I got last words, Nick.
Get him.
Because the last time I was here, we did a freaking show that ended up being largely based on Nicolas Cage. And while I applaud all of Nicolas Cage selections made during that largely Nicolas Cage heavy episode, there was a movie sitting right in front of God and everybody called Face Off that was not on the list, and I do not know how, when several other movies that weren't always good as Face. They weren't terrible, but they weren't as good as Face Off.
Hey, Lloyd, stop 1 second. Hey, Lloyd, stop.
Oh, hold on, Josh. You'll get your turn.
I just realized something. Really
you know what?
important.
I was okay with that. I let that go. That was a week ago. It was a new month. I was ready to move on with my life and the world. And then what do? You repeat the trope in a larger scale because you bring a movie that is so systematically inclined with the very pinnacle of freaking Mean Girls, and you don't put it on the list because, we've used it before. It's called syndication. It's called repeat. It's called nostalgia.
Really
Nobody's going to arrest you, Nick Martin,
I didn't know
for not putting a well-known movie on a show based on
You
Mean
have not
Girls,
played
except for starring Lindsay Lohan, which came out in 2003, and it's called Freaky Friday. However, you'll get your turn, Josh. Hold on, you'll get your turn. However, my name is Lloyd Legacy Sharp, and I can be found at Lloyd Legacy 617 on Twitter if you're on it, TikTok if you're on it. Don't use Snapchat, and I can be found on Facebook at Lloyd Legacy Sharp. I'm going to be in Worcester, Massachusetts this Saturday doing a show at Ralph's Rock Diner, and you can find anything else I'm doing on the websites. I'm done talking.
It's something I just realized. Both of the movies were about people switching bodies.
Lloyd loves a body switch. Just in case you're wondering, we used Freaky Friday in our remakes episode, and we used Face Off in our Movie Dads episode.
Oh.
These are not excuses. Actually, they are.
This is an awkward moment.
Lloyd, thank you as always. JD, is there anything you want to tell people about?
Hi, everyone. I'm JD. I host Mental Health Mondays every other Monday through Get Loud Movement. So next Monday, I'm going to steal y'all and tell you to come over to the Get Loud Movement, where I'm going to be having Sammie James on as my guest. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking mental health. And maybe Sammie will do some comedy.
That's why I can't do sad movies.
Actually, it's not sad movies. It's movies that cut onions.
And so that is going to be next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram through Get Loud Movement. So follow us there. Yeah.
Sammie, anything you want to tell people about?
Hey, you can follow me on all social media at Sammie James. I run a bunch of shows. One of them is this Saturday. It's the Badass Trans Woman. It's what it sounds like. That's on Zoom. You can find those tickets on Eventbrite. And then I run the waiting room on the fourth Saturday. But since two of them are here, we got to promote the Halloween Zoom show on Halloween at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to surprise you on Zoom. You can get those tickets on Eventbrite. And then you get to see me. Well, it won't be me. You get to see a demon character played by someone named me, hosting a bunch of great performers. Not all of them are comedians, but two of them are comedians, more than two, but two of the comedians are here, named JD Stephans and Lloyd Legacy Sharp. It's going to be a good time. And I have like in-person shows happening. One of those is the 29th. If there's anyone watching in Baltimore, I will be in Baltimore at the Louvre Room for the annual Candy Corny, which is like comedians doing stand-up in costume as whatever they're in costume as.
Hell
so
yeah.
I have a busy month, and I'm done.
Awesome. Finally, our winner, Josh. Anything you want to tell people about?
A couple things. I'm getting back into comedy. I'm going to start doing that soon enough. I just spent a week in the hospital, so learned a lot of, got a lot of new material from that. having had some, having said some chest pains. Let me just tell you, the chest pains are not a joke at all. Please go get yourself checked out if anything happens. If you start to have anything, please do. Because I mean, like, I've now got 2 stents in my heart where I didn't have them before. And it's not so much that I was going to be in bad shape, but the stents have staved off my eventual heart attack, which is amazing when you get right down to it. So do what you can if you ever feel chest pains or feel upper back pain. I think it's upper back pain and shortness of breath for women. It's completely different. But if you feel chest pains as a man, or upper back pain or shortness of breath as a woman, I know that's different. So please get yourself checked out. I love you all, and I all want you to be here as long as you can be. I'm also on Sammie's show on December 17th, and you'll find me, and I'll have more stuff available later. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Josh. And like, in all seriousness, I'm so happy that you're okay, that you seem to be in good shape right now.
Yeah.
And also, Josh, it's next Monday, I believe. You're hosting this show, right?
Yeah, if anybody wants to be on the show. it's movies that cut onions. So basically sad movies or movies that make you tear up, or movies where they cut onions. I've actually made that idea. I've looked at movies that actually cut onions too. So we've got 3 things to choose from.
Well, wonderful. Thank you all once again. JD Stephans, Josh Poirier, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, Sammie James. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. If you want to see me live doing comedy, I'm leaving the house next week. If you're in the Boston area, I will be doing a show in Brighton with Bad Intersection Comedy, which is the group run by friends of the show, Tyler Derniak and Matt Shore. And let me tell you, this lineup right now, almost all of them have been on this show. It's wonderful. We got Troy Burdett, we got Carrie Coughlin, Kat Godding, Josh Pick, Mary Spadaro, who's wonderful and hasn't on this show yet, but I need them on the show at some point. If you're in or around the Brighton area, please come out to that. Look for my social media. I'll be posting about that. And follow the show on Facebook if you search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show 2 times a week normally. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if we're going to do a show this Thursday. The topic is movies that you may not know have sequels. Right now, 0 people have signed up for that show. It's a terrible topic. It's more of a listicle idea than a theme for a movie trivia show, but I thought it was interesting. So if you want to be involved in that, reach out to me in any of those areas and say, please put me on that sequel show. I will have you on that sequel show. Otherwise, I'm taking the night off. I don't care.
Listen, I'll do it. I can win that one. And because so far it's just me.
Also, subscribe, do all the YouTuber stuff. We might have a show. It looks like it sounds like there might be some interest. We'll see. The best way to figure that out is to follow the social media, subscribe to the channel, share these videos with your friends, tell your friends about the show. Maybe they want to be on a silly trivia show. You don't have to know anything about movies to have a good time. You can yell about the fact that I did not use Freaky Friday in a Lindsay Lohan movie, and I just have to let you do it because you're doing it for free.
Or pick up Hallmark movies.
Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night, everybody.